Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call Monday, June 7th, 2022 Farmington Board of Education meeting to order at 7 p.m. We are so happy to be back in person. We're so happy to see you and have you here. And we're also welcoming those that can still view our live webcast on the Farmington Public Schools website. If you would now please join me standing, say the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay, thank you. Next item on the agenda, a very special recognition. Item 3A, recognition of Leslie Imsey, FPS Music Department Chair.
So, if we could have Leslie come up to the table. And I want to welcome everyone. It's so nice to see so many of our students and families, and this is really our favorite board meeting of the year. So we're going to begin with a recognition of Leslie Imsey, our Music Department Chair, who was selected as the Connecticut Music Education Association's Outstanding Arts Administrator for the 2020-2021 school year. Leslie is a highly dedicated leader and someone who is student-centered in all aspects of her work with her students and colleagues. Under her leadership, the Farmington Music Department has been recognized with numerous performance and educational awards. Most notably, the town of Farmington was named one of the best communities for music education, and the Connecticut Arts Association, Administrators Association's Excellence in Arts Education Award for Outstanding K-12 Music Programming. Leslie's contributions in Farmington and statewide are numerous. If you read through our packet, you'll see all the different awards that she's received over the years for her dedication and commitment to music education. Under Leslie's leadership, the Farmington schools and students have been highlighted over and over again at the state level and beyond. We want to take a moment to congratulate Leslie Imsey as well as her entire department, because she's such a collaborative leader on this well-deserved recognition. Congratulations, Leslie.
Thank you, Kathy. I'd like to open it up to the board. If anyone could address Leslie. Mrs. Kintner.
Thank you. So Leslie, I was a parent here for 4 straight years until last year with my oldest, who was in the music program. So I want to thank you for all of everything that he got out of being in that program, and as a result of your hard work. Your dedication, warmth, and connection with students and families is just a true testament to you as a professional, and adds so much to the music program here. And your push for excellence for students and teachers and just the program on the whole is such a legacy to Farmington Public Schools. And I want to thank you for everything you've done and your level of involvement with families and students. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? And just as a reminder to board members, as a courtesy, the high school has been so kind that when we're speaking that we can take our masks down. Mr. Becker.
Thanks. Leslie, you know, my family actually was not called to play music for an extended period of time beyond middle school, but what I would want to echo on what Beth said is that your example of excellence kind of permeates throughout the building. So even if you don't have a child who is called to play music, who doesn't feel the love or the passion for music, what you do in terms of how you conduct yourself in the program calls us all to be excellent, kids to give their best, regardless of what it is. And that's something that it's a tone that we've set for as long as I've been involved in the school district. So this is very well-deserved recognition, and I wish you congratulations.
Anybody else? Well, Leslie, my warmest congratulations to you on this incredible honor. And, you know, what a testament to your leadership to receive this award after potentially one of the most difficult years that educators will ever experience. And you just really, throughout this year, kept our music students thriving during the pandemic. And not only that, many might know this, but you are well known and sought out at the state level. And you gave your time to help musicians all over Connecticut cope with remote learning. And we could not be prouder of you and the far-reaching effects of your contributions to so many young musicians. So thank you so much, Leslie. Thank you for your caring leadership of our music students. It really is always such a joy to follow the students in the music department on social media and know that we do that. It is just so it was really heartwarming during the pandemic to see how so many of our students embraced all sorts of creative ways to make music on their own and even together. And of course, always taking the time to give back to our community. So just congratulations again on this well-deserved award.
Thank you so much.
Okay, moving on, item 3B, recognition of IER's CAS scholar leaders.
The Connecticut Association of Schools sponsors this award at the middle school level, and we're really excited to highlight 2 students from IAR this evening. So I'd ask for our principal, Milda Urizari. You can either come up to that microphone or the podium, either one, and we're just going to call up students one at a time. So Shri Bala. And if Shri could come up to the podium with Principal Urizari. Shri is a dedicated and outstanding 8th grade student at IAR. As a student leader of the Friends program and in collaboration with students in the Specialized Learning Center, she created opportunities for students to continue to connect and learn during the time that we were out from school last year. She hosted a virtual SLC coding program as a student facilitator, offering students of all abilities to access technological tools and skills. She is also an active member of our equity leadership group and created a peer-to-peer survey in order to improve school climate and culture. She was awarded 3rd place by the Connecticut Human Rights Commission at the Connecticut Kids Court competition. Her essay focused on inequities in health care during the COVID-19 pandemic. Shri also is a member of Power of Peace, organization which strives to deal with hunger and promote peace. Shri has sponsored over 350 meals for individuals at South Park in shelter in Hartford. She is known at IAR for her ability to demonstrate integrity and responsibility. She stands up for others and works to ensure that IAR is a safe and welcoming place for all students. I'm so proud to honor you this evening, and I would like to have Ms. Urizari say a few words, and then we'll go back to the Board of Education to also say a few words, and then at the very end, Shri will give you the opportunity to say a few words.
So Shri has been one of the most compassionate students I've ever met at IAR. She values each person's voice, and she makes sure that all students are seen and heard. Shri met with members of the Specialized Learning Center, and she's been meeting with students in that program since March 2020. These are students that may have severe autism, and since March 2020, she's taken it upon herself to have virtual meetings with students, even driving to their houses, to ensure that they had socialization during our pandemic. She believes that all students are capable of greatness, and she shows that in all she does. She hosted IAR's first ever STEM night and offered all of the students an opportunity to connect with each other. When students struggled to play Kahoot, when students struggled to join, she gave them so much praise and said, "You're an expert at this. I know this may be really hard for you, but I'm so proud of you." She embodies the vision of the global citizen. In fact, she loved Assistant Superintendent's vision of the global citizen, and she said whoever created it was a genius. She wrote a letter to U.S. Representative Tahana Hayes after her Zoom call when she received hatred. She said, "Any student conceived in Connecticut should not stand for any hatred heaped against one of our own." She has not only been an ally for her, but so many others at IAR and in our school community. We're so proud that she is given this award this evening.
Shri, one moment, just gonna open it up. Anyone on the board like to address Shri? Shri, I just want to really congratulate you on this award. And, you know, when I was reading about you, I was really struck at the scope of how you view and work for so much equity in so many aspects of your school and your community. And it's just so impressive how you found ways to positively contribute to your fellow students during a time of crisis, during the pandemic. And it's extremely apparent your heart has no bounds, and you obviously care very deeply about those in need who may feel marginalized, and you take action to make your school and your community a better place. You really are, you're an outstanding young woman, and I know you will continue this work as you come back to, as you come here to Farmington High School, and they are going to be very fortunate to have you. So I would say keep up this incredible work. You are well on your way to really making the change. Great job.
Thank you is a very small word, but still, I'll say thank you for the wonderful introductions of yours. I understood all the positive comments. This award is a recognition of all the teachers and staff that have supported me throughout my journey as a global citizen here in Farmington. And as we were introducing this concept of a global citizen this year, I thought more about it. And an unspoken but very important part is the ability to take risks. So this year, when I pitched the idea of the SLC coding program, in a time where no districts we knew of were doing something like this, my teachers and administrators, they jumped up at the idea and they supported me and encouraged me throughout the entire process. They encouraged me to do this so that students would have the opportunity to learn skills that aren't able to be taught in traditional classroom environments, and garner skills that are only able to be achieved through practice. And they have had incredible growth in these past 6 months, and they will continue to do awesome things when it comes to high school, and I'll ensure that happens. We know that at Farmington, the whole school district is a very academically gifted place, but only when you enter this system do you realize how diverse the school culture is and how many opportunities you're given to grow yourself in so many different aspects, academically or as a leader. I've just been given so many opportunities to prepare myself for the real world and accept all people of all cultures. And I'm so thankful for that. And I will continue to spread kindness and love and respect amongst everybody. And I want to thank everybody once again. So thank you all.
Come back. I wondered if you would introduce who you're here with tonight.
Oh yes, I'm here with my mom and my dad and my sister. So my parents immigrated here in the early 2000s, and they built a life so that we could do whatever we wanted, and they really wanted to move to the Farmington district so we would have a diverse education and a bunch of opportunities to pursue whatever we wanted. So I have to thank both of them.
So our next award recipient is Mikhail McKenzie. He is an exemplary eighth grade student. So I'd ask for Mikhail to come up with Ms. Arizari. He excels in his academic studies and has been an outstanding student during his years at IAR and beyond. He has been enrolled in the Hartford Youth Scholars Program since the summer of 2019 and attended classes at the Trinity College campus. He is currently completing the program virtually along with his regular studies at IAR. Mikhail thoroughly enjoys the arts and plays the trumpet, piano, and guitar. He has been a theater and stage performer at the Arts Collective in Hartford, where he participates in acting, music, and dance. Mikhail enjoys writing essays and poetry and was last year's winner of the 2020 Hartford Youth Creative Contest. He is also a published author. During the month of February, he championed a Black History Month project where he educated his peers about successful African Americans. He interviewed several prominent individuals, including Ms. Ruby Bridges, an American activist. Mikhail is an active and dedicated member of the Diversity and Equity Group at IAR, and he takes great pride in being an advocate for his peers. He can be heard expressing his desire to serve as a voice for the voiceless. He's an athlete participating in football and basketball leagues. Mikhail is a talented, disciplined, and passionate student and is highly regarded and respected by both faculty and students. He was among the top 5 out of 1,400 applicants at the Berkshire School in Sheffield, Massachusetts, where he was recently accepted and will spend his high school years. Mikhail aspires to be a pastor, an actor, and a jazz musician, and a lawyer. Congratulations.
I am so proud of Mikhail this evening. When his mother first arrived, I said, I don't think I was as courageous as he was as a middle schooler. And as an adult, I still don't think I'm as courageous as he is. He is a champion for equity. He is an advocate for all, and he empowers everyone around him to do the good work of civic and social consciousness. He's a strong advocate in our school. As Superintendent Greeter stated, he interviewed Black professionals for our Black History Month celebration, and it was his ideas that spearheaded IAR's celebration. He shared his interview with his classmates because he wanted them to know that Black history is American history and that Black achievements and success are ongoing and should ever be present in our daily lives. In middle school, when you remember the top things that you did, Mikhail's will always trump ours. He interviewed Ruby Bridges, and as he interviewed our civil rights icon, an American civil rights icon, she said after her interview with him that she never had more hope in the next generation because they are going to be the ones to change the world for the better. He also had a personal interview with Dr. Tracy Benson, author of Unconscious Bias in Schools. Mikhail shared his hopes for real meaningful changes in the world to promote increased opportunities and equity for all. He's a scholar at IAR in all he does, and most recently he earned the right to pie his social studies teacher in the face after having a top research project for Paideia, and he's nominated by all of his peers. We are so proud of him at IAR. Congratulations.
Just want to open it up to the board. Well, Mikhail, I'm trying to look at you because I know I've probably seen you because it's probably on the stage of the Hartford stage during a Christmas carol. So it is a Sayuta family tradition every year that we do that. I look forward to it. And so I have probably seen you before. That is just, that's incredible. And I just want to congratulate you on this award. You've certainly been an incredible leader at Irving Robbins, and most importantly, an advocate. We need advocates and educators and those that inspire others who can't find their voice. And I have a feeling that you're going to continue this calling. And while we miss you, not having you here at FHS, we wish you all the best at Berkshire School as you arrive on that beautiful campus. And over to you, and if you could speak and then introduce who you're here with tonight. Thank you.
First, I just want to say thank you for everyone for coming out. And thank you for that lovely introduction. So earlier this year, an editor asked me to make a contribution for a magazine. She asked me to write about my village and what that means to me. As I tried finding the right words to write the article, it made me more reflective than ever. I knew I had the support in everything I did, but it wasn't until I was asked to write about it, that's when it all made sense. Everything that I've done in Farmington was by chance, but I have been fortunate to have the support of my village. They are my mom, grandmother, Dorosa, Auntie Claudette, Auntie Michelle, Auntie Jackie, Auntie Alicia, Miss Barbara, Braylon, Eli, and a lot of other family and friends. Teachers like my 7th grade teacher, Mrs. Smith, my science teacher, Miss Becker, my math teacher, Mr. M, and also Mrs. Abrahams. Supporters like Mrs. Lauren Allen Jones, all the members of the Concerned Parents of Color in Farmington, my Harvard Youth Scholars family, and of course, my IAR principal, Mrs. Arizari. All of these people, among many others, make up my village, and I am truly grateful for each and every one of them. My wish is that every child will find the support in the people who also make up their village, just like I did. To be tonight's recipients of the 2021 Cast Scholar Award, and to have some of my members of my village share this special moment with me is amazing. Thank you to the Board of Education and all of my teachers in Farmington, and the Connecticut Association of Schools for recognizing me with this special award. Thank you to all of my villages and your continued support for helping me to maintain the standards and reputation that made me eligible for such an honorable award. And a special thanks to my mom, who has been my biggest supporter in everything that I have done. I appreciate you and all of your sacrifices. Thank you. And I'm here today with some of the members of my village. Thank you.
We would just like Mikhail's family to stand up if you would.
The next award recipient is a Farmington Valley Superintendent's Association recipient. We're going to highlight IAR's recipient and then later on the recipient from FHS. So our IAR recipient was recognized earlier in the school year, but we had some technology issues and we wanted to ensure that we had Mary come back and be recognized by the board. So the 2020-2021 Superintendent's Award winner for IAR is Mary Hannon, an 8th grade student. Mary is a student committed to academic and personal excellence in all aspects of student life. She has been a key leader and role model in the IAR Equity Leadership Group for 2 years. As part of her membership, she competed in the Yukon Kids Speak annual event and was one of the top 5 performers. Mary led various efforts to create a sense of belonging for all, including celebrating identity through Asian and Pacific Islander Heritage Month and distance and connected learning check-in surveys. Due to Mary's commitment to her peers and her school community, IAR has further developed a culture of acceptance and inclusion. She has shown a strong commitment to Relay for Life over the course of several years. As part of the kids' medical research program, she learned about different conditions that have a national impact and developed an understanding of how she could contribute to research efforts. Mary is an avid dancer, musician, and athlete. She's a cross-country runner and always tries her best to be her best self in each race. Congratulations, Mary.
I'm so excited to be here to honor Mary Hannon. She believes in social emotional learning, and part of the work that she does at Irving Robbins is to spread the message that all emotions are valid. She's led countless advisories and restorative circles, often alone leading the work, to rooms full of middle schoolers. She helps them acknowledge that what they're feeling in the moment is important, and she teaches them how to regulate their feelings and to get through it. Her teachers describe her as a quiet, conscientious, and thoughtful leader. She's a role model for many of her peers in a gentle and unassuming way. As an academician, everyone says she is the world's greatest collaborator. She could work with anyone and be able to include them in her group. She was a finalist in the UConn Kids Speak event, and her essay was Immigration, Breaking Down Barriers or Building Them Up. She described the American dream as something everyone should be capable of achieving. And she expressed her desire for America always to remain an inclusive and welcoming country. Mary states it is her duty as a person to help give everyone the respect they deserve. And she has shown that throughout her life. Thank you, Mary, for being such a great IAR student, and congratulations on your
Ms. Sorry, I just want to open it up to the board and I'd like to. Well, Mary, welcome back. I'm glad that you were able to come back in person. I remember that meeting. We felt very, it was challenging and we felt very bad. So it's wonderful. It's wonderful to see you. And I want to congratulate you on this very prestigious award. And thank you so much for everything you've done in Irving Robbins School to create a culture of acceptance and inclusion. And I want you to know I share your dream to keep America inclusive and welcoming country. And it starts in our own communities. So I believe you're pivotal to this work. So congratulations and have a great summer playing in your rock band. I'll turn it over to you and say a few words, and then if you would mind introducing who you're here tonight.
Thank you so much. I'd like to thank Ms. Arlene for all the support and guidance they've given me for creating a school environment that not only made me feel safe and included, but made me feel passionate about learning. I also want to thank Superintendent Trainer and Assistant Superintendent with this work I'm so honored to be receiving, and for creating a safe school environment across Farmington. I'd like to thank Ms. Museum and Sabo for the incredible experience in the equity leadership group that has provided me so many incredible opportunities that I couldn't be here without. I'm so grateful to all of you who helped me develop skills that I will take with me throughout life. I'm so proud and honored to be part of the IR school community. Finally, I'd like to thank my family. My sister Tara has been an incredible role model and friend to me, and who has helped me so much to become the person who I am and help me to be here today.
Would you mind introducing who you're here with today?
I'm here with my mom and my dad. Sarah couldn't be here today. She was working on a project with friends, but my parents have helped me so much.
Okay, wow, that was really nice. Some wonderful public speakers. Yeah. Yes. So next item on the agenda, item 3C, recognition of FHS Student Award recipients of class of 2021. Turn it over to Superintendent.
So I'm thrilled to welcome the class of 2021 here tonight. So our first award is for the Farmington Board of Education Student Leadership Award recipients. There are two, and the two are Bella Sefradini and Seth Frank. And so we'll start with Bella. If Bella could come up. And we'll also ask Dr. Hurwitz to come up. So Bella is an outstanding leader at FHS as a musician, community organizer, and student. Bella is a part of the Tri-M, along with being a member of the wind ensemble and the jazz band, and plays the trumpet with her band members. She founded a community-based club at FHS called Generations, whose mission is to support and uplift the elderly in our town community. Bella has led countless events and initiatives through Generations to help positively impact the elderly community in Farmington, in particular during this challenging pandemic. Bella was able to secure a large group of students in her organization and create an executive board that included 3 community adult leaders from town. In tandem with Mrs. Nancy Parent, Bella established grant money to cover the cost of many of the events for Generations. She was also recognized as an AP Scholar with distinction. Next fall, Bella will be attending Cornell University and majoring in hotel administration. Congratulations, Bella.
All right, I'll echo that. Congratulations to Bella. I know we're looking forward to hearing a few remarks from her as well. For both Bella and Seth in a moment, so I may sound redundant, this Board of Education Student Leadership Award is awarded to students who exemplify leadership in everything that they do. When we talk about character, being something that happens when nobody else is looking. And so I want to make it really clear to the folks in the auditorium here, to our board, to our school leaders, the folks who are tuning in from home, that Bella is a student who does what she does, not because recognition comes with it. She hasn't looked for recognition. She's not seeking it, but it comes because she truly cares. And I think that's so special for both Bella and Seth, who I'll speak about in a few moments, that the work they do, Bella will focus on the work she does with one of our neediest groups in the community, which is our elderly group, our senior citizens. Seth will talk about his commitment to our young folks in the community, but they don't do that because they're looking for awards. They do that because they believe in giving back to the community. They believe in the importance of connection and relationships. They believe in helping others. And Bella stepped up not only during the pandemic, but throughout our school. And I think the legacy that she'll leave is a program that commits to our senior citizens here in Farmington, and something that will live on long after she's graduated and hopefully is running some great hotels and managing those throughout our country. But that's her legacy, and it's because she cares. And I think that's the most important thing we can focus on with Bella tonight, is she truly cares, and that's absolutely remarkable. She's done a fantastic job as a representative of her family, of our school, and of our entire community, and we're really proud of her. So congratulations, Bella, well done.
Okay, Mrs. Kentner.
Yes. So I've not gotten to know Bella over the past several years. We spent some time carpooling to jazz band. That's primarily the time that we spent. Lots of good discussion on those rides. Mostly I was listening between the banter between my son and Bella. I know Bella to be a social, bright, enthusiastic, and very caring person. Also a talented and skilled musician. I've seen many concerts, Bella's performance on trumpet. Your true love of performing and your music comes through in all of your performances. You show your dedication and hard work in that area as a member of whichever ensemble you're involved with. The Generations program and that you created that program, and you've written that you had 60 volunteers, 60 plus volunteers. As someone who's been involved in volunteer organizations for a number of years, that's a tremendous accomplishment to secure that many people to join your cause and work on that program. So it's amazing. Your academics success on top of all of your other accomplishments is quite remarkable as well. I think your contributions obviously are not just within the FHS community, but across, and throughout our whole community. And that's quite a legacy to leave, and we appreciate that. So I wish you much success as you begin your studies in hotel administration. I think that that career path is very well suited to your work ethic, your personality, and your determination. And just wish you all of the luck. Have a restful summer, enjoy, and much success in your college career.
That was nice. I'm turning over to Bella, and to say a few words, and then if you wouldn't mind introducing us to who you're here with tonight.
Thank you. I don't even know what to say. That was so sweet. Thank you so much. Over the past few years, I've really gotten to reflect on how I've gotten to where I got, and gotten a lot of perspective about how it's not really just me who's gotten me where I am, and it's really where I've been placed and who's helped me along the way. And to start with that, really my family. And I wouldn't have even known that I had a passion for helping the elderly if it wasn't for my great-grandmother and my grandparents and my parents, who really allowed me to find anywhere I wanted to go and see what I really liked in the world. And I did so much. And I ended up finding, through starting to volunteer at an assisted living facility when I was in 7th grade, which I would never have done if it wasn't for my mom in particular, who allowed me to start to do that. And then through the years after that, I really found so many teachers and administrators and everyone along the way who really allowed me to continue pushing through this passion. And actually one of them's here tonight, this is Lindsay, who allowed me to start Generations and get that up and running, and she's been a big part of it. And that just also reflects why she got an award tonight. And Dr. Hurwitz, who really allowed me to keep pushing through and doing everything over COVID and throughout the whole pandemic. And it's really not just me, because if I was not placed where I was and I was not able to have the support of Farmington and the amazing school system we have, the amazing music department we have, I would not have been able to find my passions and be where I am today. So I just want to thank everyone for all of that recognition, and I would not be here without you all. And I'm here tonight with my parents, my grandparents, and my friends who are here too. They're a big part of my
Seth Frank is our second Leadership Award recipient. We'll have Seth come up and Dr. Hurwitz. His many accomplishments are highlighted by his humility in accepting recognition and his boundless curiosity for knowledge. His passion for knowledge has never wavered. And Seth plans to pursue a computer science degree and has taken full advantage of the courses offered at Farmington High School and excels in every discipline. During his junior year, Seth received the St. Michael's College Book Award. This honor recognizes students with high academic achievement, sincere commitment to community service, and concern for others. Seth has become a leader in the areas he's most passionate about, music and robotics. Music and computers are what Seth is most proud of and will continue to pursue throughout college and beyond. Seth can easily be found helping neighbors with yard work, hiking with his family, volunteering his time to support younger students learning about coding or playing a musical instrument. He is kind, easy to connect with, and always puts forth his engagement and high quality effort. No deed is too small for Seth to try his very best. Congratulations, Seth.
So I'll pick up where we left off a few minutes ago. Seth, first of all, congratulations. A well-deserved honor for you and for your family as well. Here at Farmington High School, we talk about one school, one community, one us. About creating a place where every single person who walks through our door knows that they belong. If you're in Farmington High School and you're standing in the hallway, Seth Frank makes sure that you know that you belong here. About every single day, I have the pleasure of seeing Seth. It doesn't matter where I am. It doesn't matter who I'm with. he makes it a point to stop and say, hello, how are you? I could see him 3 times and he'll check in with me 3 times. And that's because he cares. He's not looking for my recognition because he does it with everybody who he sees in the hallway. He makes sure you know this is a place that you belong and that I care about you. And going back to what I said before, it's not because he's looking for recognition. Similar to Bella, they're not doing this for an accolade. They're doing it because they care. So a few moments ago, we talked about Bella and her contributions to our senior community. On the other side of it, Seth has given much of his time to ensuring that younger folks in our community feel connected and opening doors, whether it be through strings instruments or through the robotics. I have teachers who talk about Seth's impact on their kids who are young kids and how he opened doors for them and how he's often willing to give up his time and of his expertise to make sure that they know that there are pathways available for you so that you can find something here in Farmington that allows you to learn and grow and know that you belong. And so he's an ambassador for our school and our community doing that. I'll also say that last year during the pandemic, we have a highly successful robotics program here at Farmington High School. One that continuously competes at the national level and receives accolades at that level. The pandemic came just as travel season was picking up for the high school robotics team. That was a time when we could have given up or where we could have stopped doing the work. And I know after talking to the advisors and seeing the work that was done, Seth is a big reason why that program maintained its success in whatever way they could find, whether it was meeting virtually online week after week in the evenings, eventually working their way back into the annex with small groups or working their way here to the high school on weekends in small groups. And again, he's somebody who held it together, not because he was looking to get credit at a board meeting for holding it together, but because he cared and he knew about the great opportunities there. So I want to thank Seth and congratulate him. Again, when we talk about a legacy, the robotics program will move on, and so will a group of students who are also willing to give up their time and their expertise to make sure they can pass on what they care about and open doors for others. So for that, Seth, and for being a tremendous ambassador every day in the hallway, and I know you'll continue to do that through the next 5 or 6 days that we have here at high school. I want to thank you because I know that I belong every time I see you. So thanks, Seth.
And turn it over to Mr. Becker.
Thanks, Ellen. Seth, congratulations. Yeah, I think you're WPI, right? Worcester's a great town. You're gonna love it. When Ellen asked me to speak to you tonight, I've known you for a very long time. The first time I saw you was on a baseball field with your father, 10 years ago, easily. And you've always struck me as this person that quiet leadership is what I would, the phrase I would use to think of you. You were someone that led by example. And as you grew up and as you moved out of baseball and became more active here at the high school in music and with robotics, you took that kind of approach here. You're leaving a legacy behind with the robotics program. You have set a high standard here that you should be proud of. That is something that is going to hopefully continue. This is the best time in your life right now, in the sense that you're about ready to step out onto the world and take everything that you've learned. And I've been privileged of knowing your family for a very long time, and I know you're prepared for that. Take that leadership with you. I mean, your quiet example, that's a servant leader type of thing that I think we try to develop here, and you have that. So as you go on about your career, we'll miss you here. I know your mom and dad are going to miss you. Your brother probably won't miss you, but I wish you the best of luck. Thanks.
Bill, anyone else? Seth, do you want to say a few words? Please introduce us to who you brought with you tonight.
Yeah, so I just want to thank, of course, my parents who are here today for everything, just helping me get through high school and even beyond that. And then, of course, I just want to thank everyone on the robotics team, especially my 2 coaches, Mrs. Hall and Mr. Barrett. They've truly allowed me to find so many opportunities within the 3 years I've been on the robotics team. From just being a new member my sophomore year, from growing up to be an officer the next 2 years. I've truly learned so much from that team. And it's given me so many opportunities that I will always take with me, and many skills that I'll take with me, even going into WPI and further into my real world. And then also another big part on the music department, which Mrs. Imsey is here today too. She's been a huge part, as well as all the other teachers of the music department, from just helping me find opportunities to help mentor younger kids, and even help teachers throughout the district with music. It's truly been an honor just to have those opportunities and be able to provide my knowledge and skills to people throughout the district. So there's so many people I can thank, especially all my friends, all the people on my robotics team, and in the music department. And I know that I'll be able to take these skills throughout when I go on to WPI and even into my future. And I know that helping these younger kids and just helping all my fellow friends is something I'll always continue. And I'll definitely continue to say hi to you and always Dr. Crowitz, as well as everyone else. So just thank you to everyone. And that's all I have to say. And I'm here with my mom and dad today too.
Thank you, Seth. Congratulations.
This is a night of inspiration, just really amazing to listen to our students and our families' impact on our students, as well as our teachers and administrators and fellow students, how we all are a village and we're all working together to really support each other. And we've had, a challenging time, and the senior year for our class of 2021 has been challenging, but I think we've really reflected on this year as just being very proud of what we were able to accomplish together. So our next award recipients, it's the CAS Art Scholars. We have 2 recipients, and FHS senior Lindsay Fiedler and Elizabeth Williams. And we'll start with Lindsay. So we'll have Dr. Hurwitz come up and have Lindsay come up. Lindsay's a talented, really creative student, and this award only further validates what everyone, her counselors, peers, teachers, and administrators have seen since she entered Farmington High School in the fall of 2017. Lindsay has shown a genuine passion for the arts through her efforts to fit as many art electives into her schedule as possible. True to Lindsay's advocacy and passion for creating, if a course didn't exist, she created it. Lindsay would actively seek out an advisor in the art department, create a course and its curriculum with the guidance of her advisor, and then carry out and complete an independent study at a high level. Her thirst for knowledge and innovation was then recognized by being awarded Best in New Media by the Farmington High School Fine and Applied Arts Department at the end of her junior year. On top of creating multiple independent studies, winning awards, and exhausting the Fine and Applied Arts curriculum at FHS, Lindsay has also excelled academically across all subject areas. She's been inducted into the National Honor Society, National Art Honor Society as well. Some of Lindsay's most proud successes have come by the way of creating with civic mindset and giving back to the community that she loves here in Farmington. One example of this is her creation of the vision of the Global Citizen logo that you see everywhere, which was unveiled district-wide earlier this school year. Lindsay now has her sights set on a successful career in digital media and has recently had some of her work published in Downtime magazine out of New York City. Next year, Lindsay will begin her journey in pursuing a degree at the New School at Parsons School of Design in New York City. Congratulations, Lindsay.
Lindsay, congratulations. This is a tough award, as we all are, to be recognized for, especially when you consider the immense amount of talent, skill within our school, within your senior class, and your fellow artists. However, I can't think of a more deserving recipient when you combine your outstanding artistic talent and your scholarship and your contributions to the school community. I can remember, this is my second year here at Farmington High School, and I can remember going to an art show last fall, which is where I think you and I met for the first time, and I met your father there as well, and we started talking about your artwork, and I became really interested in it, and then as I've watched you grow over the last 2 years, there's so many examples of passion and creativity, and certainly the creation of the vision of the Global Citizen logo, I think, is one example of something that will live on here in Farmington as a reminder of your tremendous talent and also your contributions. One lesser known contribution that is really internal is we're going to have to find a new artist for the FHS Administrators Annual Holiday card as well. Lindsay somehow makes the four of us look really creative and clever the last 2 years as we do a donation on behalf of the faculty and staff here at the high school to a local charity. And Lindsay has been kind enough to lend her creativity and talent to the administrative team to get a positive message to our faculty and staff. And really, it comes down to Lindsay's willingness to continue to allow her art to be showcased, not only publicly, but also to give back to others and always find a way to make it relevant too. So we couldn't be more proud of you, Lindsay. Also to our families out there and folks watching at home, Lindsay, along with Elizabeth, will be featured at 1 o'clock this Sunday on Fox 61 as the Connecticut Association of Schools will recognize her tremendous talent and contribution here at Farmington High School, along with the rest of the students across the state of Connecticut. So congratulations, Lindsay, on your honor. We're very proud of you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Hurwitz. I'll just open it up to the board at this time. Okay, well, Lindsay, welcome back. We were here together not that long ago when, as Superintendent Reader and Dr. Hurwitz said, you brought us your creation of your logo. And I remember saying to you at the time that I would think of you every time that I saw it, and I do. So it's so nice to see you. And it's just really, it's, as I said, nice to have you here again for this honor, so well deserved. And you know, you not only designed our logo for the vision of the global citizen, but you're the perfect example of our vision of the global citizen and your contributions here. Obviously, you felt here for many years to come. So let you say a few words, and if you would introduce the group tonight. Congratulations.
Hi, and as I say in a lot of my speeches, I love the art department. It has become basically my home and my family for these past 4 years. It is something that I would never trade for the world. Some of the relationships that I've made with my art teachers, such as Mr. Miner, Mr. Procco, Ms. McKinney, Ms. Reiser, I wouldn't trade it for anything. They have really become my closest mentors and just people that I will always try and keep in touch with because I just have such a close place in my heart for them. And then I'd like to thank Dr. Hurwitz. Even though we worked together for all 4 years of high school, we really got to know each other over these past 2 years, and just like creating this relationship with you has been such an honor because I've been given so many opportunities to create just amazing things for the school. And but recently I've been thinking, I've been reflecting on my freshman self and how much I wanted to accomplish by the time I was in my senior year of high school. And looking back, I have accomplished just things that I wouldn't even have dreamed of my freshman year. I couldn't even imagine getting all these, awards and opportunities to make things and scholarships. It has just been a dream, and it has built up my confidence to a point where I have no doubt that I'm going to do amazing things in college, and I'm going to take my education here at Farmington High School and bring it to the art school that I'm going to, and I'm just going to do amazing things. And I cannot thank my educators enough and my education here at the high school for the just amount of growth that you guys have helped me embody. So thank you so much. So I'm here with my dad, my mom, and my sister Allie today.
Thank you, Lindsay. Congratulations.
Our second CAS award recipient is Elizabeth Williams. So we'll have Elizabeth come up with Dr. Hurwitz. We're still going to say a few words about Elizabeth. Elizabeth's an exceptional student and a musician at FHS. She's been selected for the Connecticut Music Educators Association All-State Chorus every year in grades 9 through 12. She's been selected for All Nationals Music Honors Ensemble 2 years in a row as a soprano vocalist. She's a member of the Chamber Singers and the Magical Singers. She plays the violin and the viola in the symphony, strings, and chamber orchestra at FHS. Additionally, she's a member of the Farmington Valley Symphony Orchestra. Elizabeth is a gifted composer who recently created a symphonic work for the FHS Orchestra and composed a virtual composition highlighting all of the instruments that she plays for the CAS and CIAC talent show. As a leader in our school orchestra and choirs, Elizabeth is an assistant conductor, accompanist, and lead sectional for these ensembles. She's a leader for community service in the Triad Music Honor Society and an AP Scholar with Distinction. Congratulations, Elizabeth.
While Elizabeth wasn't able to join us, I think it's important to also recognize another student. As I look around this auditorium, I'm running out of fingers on both hands, Mrs. MC, to count the tremendously talented musicians that are among the award recipients here today, all of whom could have also been recognized as our outstanding scholar musician. Elizabeth is a student who thrives in the arts, and again, is someone who's always willing to give back and make herself available whenever needed. The times that come to my mind, most significantly, last summer when we tragically lost our athletic director, Jack Fanian, and we put together a program. We were in search of musicians who would help make that a special program in a way that to honor Bush Fanian, and Elizabeth stepped up immediately and delivered just a very moving delivery of our national anthem. And time after time, she's somebody that we can count on. You know, we didn't get it quite as much this year as we would have liked, but we certainly have come on strong in the spring with our musical performances. But there is no better feeling than walking the halls of Farmington High School and having students singing, creating music. So we see that from time to time. Again, not as much as we did the year before, but Elizabeth always seems to be in the group making beautiful music, whether it's the strings or with her voice. And so a well-deserved honor for Elizabeth, and a super talented musician that you will definitely see again, as she is going to make us all proud here as a graduate from high school. So congratulations, Elizabeth.
So I'm pleased to announce the CAS Scholar athletes as our next recipients, and that's Kylie Fix and Jerry Zhang. And we'll start with Kylie coming up first with Dr. Hurwitz. Kylie is an academically gifted, hardworking, and an all-around amazing student. Her diligence, hard work, and drive have made her truly an extraordinary student, and her willingness to help others make her someone who everyone can lean on whenever something is needed. Kylie's efforts have resulted in winning the UPenn Book Award and being an AP Scholar with honor. She has been very purposeful in choosing courses each year as her interest in the medical field grew over time. Kylie's strong leadership ability has been evident as she has been elected every year to our student council by her peers. She was selected as a 10th grader for the Rotary Youth Leadership Award and was nominated and elected as a Peer Leaders President. Each summer, she volunteers in the Hole in the Wall gang camp and states that service is a huge part of who she is. Kylie is a talented actress and singer who earned a lead in our school's musical performance. She's been a member of the varsity field hockey team for the past 2 years, member of the varsity girls lacrosse team for all 4 years. In that time, she's developed into an athlete we count on for her energy and consistency on the field. As senior captain and team leader for the lacrosse team this spring season, she has helped create an environment where all members of the program feel welcomed and supported. Congratulations, Kylie.
Just gonna say before I start, this is not the best night. We're
It
back
is
in
the best
person.
night.
We've got great students and families here to celebrate, and so, just honored to be here with so many wonderful students coming to the high school and moving on, as well, and also to our seniors here that we're recognizing. Kylie and Jerry are both remarkable ambassadors for Farmington High School as well. As you heard from Mrs. Breeder's description, Kylie excels in a variety of areas, academically, in the arts, for student leadership, on the field of play. And she's somebody that I count on as a sounding board and a student leader. And her bar is always high, no matter what. Her bar is always high. And I'll give you a couple examples of that. I had the pleasure of listening to her capstone presentation. How long was that? A week or two ago? A week ago, coming right off the senior prom weekend there, and she came in and delivered an outstanding capstone, looking at the impact of COVID-19 on students who are battling specific illnesses, in particular those that she works with at the Hole in the Wall Gang Camp. This was a highly rigorous capstone endeavor, a time of year where we're struggling a little bit to get to the finish line. And again, Kylie's bar remained ultimately high. And it's not often that you see advisors tear up in their capstone presentations, but the amount of pride that that the adults felt in the room for the level of seriousness that Kylie put into this project was evident by everybody who was there. And that's just one example of, again, keeping the bar high. I'll give you another example. Earlier in the year, when we were, Ricky will remember this as well, as the student council was kind of struggling to figure out, hey, what are we going to do for graduation, which I'll talk about later when that comes up on the agenda. What are we going to do about senior prom? What are we going to do about senior picnic? And the future wasn't really clear at the time. We were in January, we weren't really sure where this was going to go. And I'll give Kylie credit with continuing to say, we've got to do our best. We've got to do our best. We've got to do our best. And from the last couple of weeks, we did our best, and both events worked out to be huge successes. And again, it's about keeping the bar high. And so Kylie is a student who cares about her community, she cares about her classmates, and she's a leader in so many different ways. And I want to thank you for keeping the bar high, and I know that you'll continue to do that as you move on to UConn and your professional career as well. Couldn't be more proud of you, so congratulations, Kylie.
Thank you, Dr. Hurwitz. I'm opening it up to the board. Well, hi, Kylie. Congratulations so much on this honor. And, in just reading about you are absolutely astoundingly well-rounded. You're so much more than an athlete. And, as a board, we really appreciate that you take advantage of everything here at the high school. I absolutely love that your friendly style, and knowing both your lovely parents for so many years, I know exactly where you got it from your parents, especially your mom. So congratulations, and I'd like to say a few words and then introduce your parents. Congratulations.
Thank you so much for the kind words. I would not be here where I am today without the amazing support of the administration and all of the teachers and students at the high school and all throughout Farmington. My coaches, the athletic department. Farmington is such an amazing place to be as a student, and not just as a student, but as a person. And I think what's so amazing hearing all of these descriptions of even the middle schoolers and all the high schoolers that are getting awards is that students in Farmington are so much more than who they are in the classroom. And
I know Farmington is known for its academics, but it's also known for its people and the kind and amazing people that it creates and pushes out into the real world. So I'd just like to thank everyone who got me here, from my teachers, Dr. Hurwitz especially, for helping me keep the bar high and keeping the bar high himself in a tough year with COVID, and my parents for always being there for me. And I wouldn't be a scholar athlete without Coach Manarisi, who has been my coach for 7 seasons now. So thank you to everyone. Thank you to my parents.
Jerry Zhang is our second past scholar athlete. Jerry's going to come up, here he is, with Dr. Hurwitz. He is a talented, dedicated individual and a leader both on and off the tennis courts. Not only an exceptional student, recognized as this year's FHS Class of 2021 valedictorian, which you will hear more about later this evening. Jerry is also an avid tennis player. He's a decorated member of the varsity boys tennis team. As team captain, he leads the team not only in mentoring the younger athletes, but also in talent development and leading by example. He has grown to love the sport of tennis beyond the physical activity it provides, mostly due to his desire to learn and achieve as much as he can from the game. Emerging most notably as a leader through the pandemic, Jerry regularly organized practices and training sessions for his teammates over the past year. For the past couple of years, he has also been teaching tennis at the Rocky Hill Tennis Center and with children with special needs through the Hospital for Special Care. Assisting in clinics for all ages, he enjoys sharing his passion for tennis with others. Jerry's also worked as a program director for the AC and Autism, a program he co-founded designed to help children with autism learn tennis and grow social skills. His diligence, respect, and integrity is exceptional. Interested in pre-medicine and the humanities, Jerry plans to attend Amherst College in the fall. Congratulations, Jerry.
We're gonna make Jerry work tonight. He's gotta come up twice. As our valedictorian as well, Jerry is an exceptional scholar, but has also heard. And this is something I'll say here about both Jerry and Angela, not to get ahead of ourselves, but we don't, and this award Jerry earned because not only he's an exceptional athlete on the tennis court, but also for his outstanding academic achievement, and as you heard in Mrs. Reeder's description, his outstanding commitment to community service as well. We're also fortunate that both our valedictorian and salutatorian are also outstanding people. We don't get to choose that for that award. That's based on performance, but we happen to continue to have students earn that recognition who also give much of themselves beyond. And Jerry's a great example of that as well. Something that we didn't mention is Jerry's commitment to some of our other really successful programs here at Farmington High School. Last year, unfortunately, due to the pandemic, they were not able to travel to Stanford and compete. He's a leader in our economics team here at the high school, and also helped lead our Science Olympiad team to nationals this year. And I want to give Jerry credit. Jerry, I know you didn't make the nationals because Jerry that weekend had an opportunity to attend senior functions here at the high school instead. Sometimes you have to pick, and Jerry's a busy guy who gets recognized for lots of different things, and all along the way, again, like we said with Kylie, he keeps the bar high and has done so. And I look forward to sharing more about Jerry when we mentioned him as valedictorian, but want to congratulate him on an outstanding tennis season, which just ended this weekend, and for again leading our team to a successful year both on the tennis court and within the community. So congratulations, Jerry.
Dr. Hurwitz, I just want to open it up to the board for Jerry. Well, hi, Jerry. I just want to congratulate you on this honor, and most of all for being described as a leader during a pandemic. That's really incredible because most of us, we were just trying to survive. You are the type of person that looks for solutions. And so we are so grateful for your leadership and to your fellow students. And of course, as Dr. Hurwitz said, don't go away because we're going to be talking to you very shortly. But if you want to say a few words now, introduce your parents.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for the great introductions. And I just want to shout out like my parents. For like driving me all the time to tennis practices and stuff like that. It's a big sacrifice, and I really appreciate how they could have been like sitting on the couch and sleeping, but instead, it's sort of like watching me play tennis. And just like it's been an honor to help better the community around Farmington by spreading joy of the sport to different communities. And yeah, I look forward to doing this in the future, and thank you everyone for the help along the way.
So the next award is the Farmington Valley Superintendent's Association Award recipient for FHS, and I'm thrilled to recognize Ricky Podgorski as the Farmington Valley Superintendent's Association recipient. Ricky is someone who aims to raise everyone up. So Ricky's going to join Dr. Hurwitz up here. His poise and reassurance is welcomed and appreciated by his peers and faculty and staff, making him a student you want to follow. As a senior, Ricky challenged himself academically while being eager about his electives in areas of interest, journalism, as well as editor-in-chief of The Voice. He does all of this while being this year's 2021 senior class student president. As an athlete, he was a member of the basketball team that brought home the first state championship for FHS. During quarantine, Ricky held Farmington together by bringing our weekly 9:05 news broadcast to life. I have to say that every time I would receive it, it was just the bright spot of my week. When human connectedness was missed, he brought together teachers, students, parents, community members, and administrators, including the superintendent. Ultimately, not only is Ricky a strong journalist, student, and leader, but he is also simply a great person. He is one of the most humane, compassionate, empathetic, charismatic, and spirited people at FHS. Congratulations, Ricky.
Ricky, congratulations first and foremost. And the second thing I'll say to you is thank you. On behalf of all of us at Farmington High School, I want to thank Ricky for demonstrating leadership beyond his years in a most unpredictable time, and the most unpredictable time I can recall. When we talk about the research around what to do when you face adaptive challenges for which no answer exists. And some of the things that you need when these challenges arise are poise, and consistency. And when I think about Ricky's contribution to the school community, those are the words that come to mind. And so I remember, I'll quote him for the 50th time at graduation next week. Ricky was a junior, and we left on March 13th thinking we were leaving for 2 weeks and coming back. And he delivered, that was a Friday, and he delivered a 9:05 news in which he talked to the entire student body about leaving a legacy. And reassuring, kind of like when you think of our like landmark broadcasters on TV, and we look at the TV and we trust them. We looked at Ricky and trusted him, and we said, things are gonna be okay. Let's stick together, let's be responsible. And I think that obviously was extended a bit last year, but that message continued through the year. So he was a partner over the summer when we talked about health and safety. He helped produce our videos and guidelines for students, and really has been a conduit to the student body through the administration and what does the school need and how can I help get that message out there. And so his leadership on the athletic field, through student council, and through the news has all come together to produce really positive, resounding messages that are relevant to students. And so I want to thank Ricky for his leadership and his commitment. We're going to miss you here at Farmington High School, and know you'll do great things as you pursue a career. in communications and broadcasting, and look forward to seeing you on TV somewhere and saying, hey, he's had it all along. And he's another student who continues to work and achieve at high levels. And we have no doubt that he'll continue to make us proud. But again, Ricky, I want to thank you for your leadership and your service to Farmington High School. It's been absolutely extraordinary. Thank you.
So I'll just open it up to the board. Mrs. Kintner.
With you here, I just have to say that, that 905 news, as a parent of a senior last year, feeling so cut off, both my son and I watch every week, and it's just such a connection for us to the high school, bringing in so many different aspects of what was going on, and just your cheerfulness and positivity was extremely valuable, so thank you for that. And best of luck to you.
Anyone else? Mr. Becker.
Real brief. Rick, I've got to know you over the last couple of years. It's a lot of fun to watch you grow. One thing Dr. Hurwitz said though, that kind of struck me, and kind of made me think of this. You are the leader of the student body at a very difficult time as we retired our prior mascot and then inaugurated a new one. And you kept the student body together. It was your leadership that did that. And there may have been some pressures, to resist. You educated your peers and you led us into this new place. And that's something that, I think we should all recognize. That was a really, really important thing that you did. So very well done.
Thank you for that, Bill. Anyone else? Well, hi, Ricky. Congratulations so much in this, on this honor. I feel like I know you because the superintendent Reader and Dr. Lewis said we know you through the 905 News. We all see it on Twitter and we, we watch it. And you were, what stands out for me is you were one of the first students that stood out to me when we first had to take over with connected learning. And I saw the 905 News and we just sort of got a glimpse. We were all in our homes, but we did, it was very hopeful to see sort of that glimpse of, what was taking place and keeping us all connected. And I just really enjoyed and admired how you kept the communication going and just checking in to see how's everyone doing. And just injecting real lighthearted humor into a very challenging situation. You'll never know how important that is and what hope you gave. So just congratulate you so much on this honor. Thank you for your spirit that you've given this high school this year and beyond. And if you'd like to say a few words, and then please introduce us to who you're here with tonight.
Thank you very much, everybody, for such an awesome welcome. First off, I just really like to thank Superintendent Reader and Dr. Hurwitz and the whole Board of Education. Just so grateful to have such prominent figures help guide me. It's not only as a student, but as a person. Ever since I was a Little West District Tiger, this Farmington has been behind me, and I'm just so grateful to have been with this community and have developed to become the person I am today. Through here, I'd like to thank the class of 2021. They have become my family, and all these friends that I'm gonna miss in the next few days when we graduate. It's gonna be crazy, but I'm just so grateful to have been with this class for so many years. And you guys have mentioned 905 News and the FHS Voice. I just want to send a big thank you to my journalism family. Huge thank you to Mrs. Martinez and Mr. Foreman. The opportunities that the 905 News and the Voice have provided for me are immense and have really made me the person I am today and have created a field of work that I'm just so excited to delve further into as this is going to college next year. Most importantly, I'd just like to thank my family. You guys are my rock, my company, you guys for everything. I'm joined here today with my sister Sophie and my mother, my sister Bella can't be here today. She's doing bigger and better things right now, but I'm just so grateful that you guys are here at home for me. I also just really want to thank my dad. I know he's not here today, but he's the most influential figure in my life, and I'm just so grateful that his lessons have really made me the man I am today. So thank you guys very much.
Our next award recipient is the Principal Award winner. And so I'll ask Mercy to come on up with Dr. Hurwitz. I'm so pleased to announce Mercy Adekola as the recipient of the 2020-2021 Principals Award. Mercy is known as a leader in our school community and throughout the Farmington community and beyond for her unwavering commitment to social justice, strong moral leadership, and her charismatic personality. She makes notable contributions to the music program by participating in the Allegiant Ensemble and Jazz Band, while always remaining committed to excellence inside each academic classroom. Mercy can always be relied upon to mentor another student, and she was a beloved tutor in the advanced tutoring program. Additionally, Mercy works part-time, is actively involved in her church community, and is a role model for her siblings. Her fidelity to service, education, and good citizenship were recognized when she was awarded the Moorhead Kane Scholarship to attend the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. Mercy will carry forward the finest qualities of the Farmington's vision of the global citizen as she continues to lead by example. Mercy is an outstanding representative of FHS and our entire community. Mercy's desire to serve and support others is truly remarkable and serves as a model for others. Congratulations, Mercy.
Mercy is not with us at this time anymore tonight, but want to just give a shout out to Mercy and thank her for her outstanding contributions. Like many of our students that we've spoken about tonight, there's so many positive things to highlight, whether it be her academic prowess, her outstanding musicianship as well. But really, Mercy and I have had a chance to work so closely together at Farmington High School, along with the rest of the administrative team, through her work with social justice. And Mercy has utilized her voice to continue to lead improvement efforts here, not only in Farmington High School, but throughout our community. She is our first Moorhead Kane Scholar ever in Farmington, which, for those of you who are not aware of that, is a really tremendous national recognition at the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, where Mercy will have an absolutely outstanding opportunity to network not only throughout our country, but throughout the world with some of the finest thinkers that our world has to offer. And I have no doubt that Mercy, wherever she ends up post-graduation, will continue to leave a positive impact on the places she visits. I only hope that she returns here in Farmington to continue her outstanding work in leadership. And when we talk about the legacy of our students, Mercy is another student who has really helped our social justice program grow. I know she's spending time at IAR before she graduates as well, because she cares so much about this work continuing, and has left us in a really good place. So on behalf of Farmington High School, I thank Mercy for all of her contributions and efforts to make our school a better place and a place for everyone to live. Thank you, Mercy.
Our next award recipient is our salutatorian for the class of 2021. Angela Sedlowski is truly a gifted student. We'll have Angela come up, Dr. Hurwitz. But her grace, leadership, and genuine kindness made her stand out at FHS and beyond. Not only is she bright, but she is a pleasure to know. Aside from her amazing GPA and rigorous course load, Angela has had many academic achievements and honors at the collegiate and national level. Angela is a member of the Honor FHS Societies, a commended National Merit Scholar, and achieved a perfect score on the National Economics Competition Test. Angela was a natural choice for the FHS Economics Teaching Assistant Program. Angela has also led the Veterans Club, of which she founded with great success. She coordinated numerous fundraisers in order to support veterans' causes and increase community awareness of veterans' issues. Angela displayed leadership skills in her role at Bristol Hospital. Volunteer Services Coordinator shared that she was a team player who was mature beyond her years, determined, caring, and compassionate. At Farmington High, she has also been co-president of the Women in STEM Club, a member of the volleyball team, and of the school orchestra, playing violin. Outside of school, in addition to having a great experience in the medical field, Angela has been a volunteer dog trainer, a musician at her church, as well as entertaining at nursing homes and senior centers. On graduation from Farmington High, Angela will be attending Johns Hopkins University. Congratulations, Angela.
Congratulations, Angela. I have the pleasure of meeting with the valedictorian and the salutatorian to announce this prestigious honor to them. So I had the chance to meet with both Jerry and Angela together in person and virtual simultaneously. Can't say enough about, I think Mrs. Greer used the word grace. Angela is a humble leader and somebody who conducts herself always with grace and emanates gratitude. And for somebody who has been so exceptionally successful in so many areas, to be so humble and to lead with grace is truly remarkable. We don't get to choose who the valedictorian and salutatorian are. They earn this honor by taking rigorous courses and achieving at the highest level in a very competitive program. And they've done so while also giving to the community and serving as caring members of the Farmington High School community. And I don't want to use any spoiler alerts, but I had the chance to meet with Angela today to talk about her graduation speech next week. And again, no spoiler alerts, but I want to reiterate somebody who has a platform to share a message, grace and gratitude emanate throughout. And I just think that is something that Angela will continue to bring as she is exceptionally successful in all that she devotes herself to. She will continue to bring this attitude that will allow her to be successful, both as a scholar and as a person. And that's truly wonderful. That's a gift. And I congratulate you and thank you for all your service and support here at Farmington High School. Congratulations to our salutatorian.
Dr. Bruins. Angela, on behalf of the Farmington Board of Education, you are the salutatorian for the class of 2021. You're given this academic title as the second highest rank in your class. The Board of Education congratulates you on this impressive honor, and please know how very proud we are of you. We appreciate everything that you have taken advantage of here at Farmington High. You leave a legacy of academic excellence, community outreach, especially veterans, and kindness, a legacy of kindness. We are told you will do that too. So well done. We will miss you, and all the best to Johns Hopkins. I'd like to open it up to the board. If you want to say a few words, and then if you would please introduce who you're here with tonight.
So I will be taking up plenty of your time at graduation, so I'll try to keep this short. I have been in Farmington Public Schools since I was about this tall at Union School Elementary. So first I would like to thank Superintendent Greeter and all the Board of Education for fostering such an amazing school district. It's truly appreciated. I would also like to thank Dr. Hurwitz. I remember meeting you for the first time. I think it was the summer before my junior year. I think it just started. And I was in my young law class, and you walked in and asked us if we had any thoughts on FHS or, any input. So I want to thank you for always being so welcoming to all of our ideas and always there for us. I'd also like to thank all my amazing friends, and especially I'd like to thank all my teachers. This truly is a testament to all of your support and dedication to our educations. So I thank you very much. I'd also like to thank my parents for their endless love and support. So they're here with me today. So it's my mom, my brother, and my dad. So thank you so much.
Our last award recipient is our valedictorian. So Jerry is going to come back to the podium, Dr. Hurwitz. Jerry Zhang, class of 2021. Valedictorian is a highly intelligent, dedicated, and motivated leader within our school. Academically, Jerry has taken the most rigorous program of studies over the past 4 years, including numerous advanced placement courses. He's a leader of his own learning, self-directed, and highly motivated. He is intellectually curious and a critical thinker, who above all strives for a deep understanding in all that he does. Jerry is also an athlete, part of the FHS economics team, the science Olympiad team, and our music program, playing the violin since he was 5 years old. He was the recipient of the Yale Book Award last spring and was awarded the State of Connecticut Seal of Biliteracy for his exceptional skills in the area of world languages. Jerry is an outstanding young man with high academic potential and an expansive list of extracurricular activities that truly embody Farmington's vision of the global citizen. His demonstration of academic excellence and goodwill towards others will have a lasting impact on the FHS community. Congratulations once again, Jerry.
All right, Jerry, round two here. You know, I wanna both mention for Jerry and Angela, who's coming back this week. Both Jerry and Angela have achieved at high levels and at the top of their class, not only while in person, but both of them spent a good part of the school year as fully remote learners. And so when you think about the discipline and the commitment to continuing to achieve at the highest levels in a very new and challenging environment, I think credit goes to both of them for continuing to excel and commit to their studies as remote learners for a good portion of the year. We're very happy to have Jerry who's been back with us for part of the spring, and Angela's coming back with us this week as well to finish out our school year together, and we're thankful we're able to do that. For our middle school students who are watching some of these high school students, and I can see you coming back here in 4 years and continuing to leave a great mark and legacy. I want to encourage you to think about the biographies that you heard of all of our students, but also Angela and Jerry, because I think one thing that's really remarkable about their high level achievement is that they've also found balance within their school program. And in a time where we put so much pressure on ourselves to achieve at high levels in this challenging competitive world that we live in, they've done that. And Jerry's resume also speaks to the many opportunities he took advantage of here that had nothing to do with his grade point average. Being an outstanding tennis player and a captain of his team, and going out and developing community programs to make connections with students with needs and help bring the game of tennis to them. That didn't have to do with Jerry's academic program. Being a community musician who achieves at the top of his group and playing on the weekends and practicing, right, Dad? And doing all that practice. That's not just about your GPA. Taking part in Science Olympiad and taking part in the economics team, looking to seek opportunities to engage with thinkers, not only here in Farmington, but across the state and the nation. Those are all extra opportunities. And so as you listen, there's a wide variety of opportunities. And I think Jerry's resume speaks to the ability to achieve at high levels, but also to make sure that you engage in what's important to you and try new things and get involved with things and leave an impact on your community. And Jerry and Angela have done so as scholars, but they've also done so as members of our greater community. And I applaud both of them for that. And Jerry, I want to thank you for serving as such a great role model, not only as a student, but as a citizen here at Farmington High School. It's truly remarkable, and can't wait to hear your speech to us next week as well. Congratulations as the valedictorian of Farmington High School.
Holds Jerry back. Jerry, on behalf of the Farmington Board of Education, you are the valedictorian for the class of 2021. You're given this academic title as the highest rank in your class. The Board of Education congratulates you on this impressive honor, and please know we are very proud of you. You've taken advantage, as Dr. Hewitt said, some of the most rigorous courses here at Farmington High and contributed immeasurably to our music and our athletic programs. And you leave a legacy of leadership and goodwill towards others. Well done, and best of luck at Amherst College. Thank you.
Hello again. So I guess like my first speech was a little rushed, so I want to thank a couple more people on the sports team. So like thank you to like all of my friends on the tennis team. It was a great like couple of years with you guys. And also thank you to Coach Mulcahy, Coach Doff. You guys were always like supporting me, especially at the invitationals. And then also like thank you to all the Board of Education administration for like working so hard to like keep us as like a community even like during the pandemic. And also I would like to thank like the music department because like Miss Imsey was always helping me out with like the Middlewoods with along with Seth and Lindsay Coster. Like she was always like motivating us to continue with our like public speaking skills, which I'm still developing, and also our just like our altruism for helping out the other people in the community. And also, I would really like to thank the teachers for just always being there for us, always giving us a great education, and supporting us not only in the classroom but also for like anything that we're doing outside of the classroom. And let's see. Oh, okay. Also, finally, I would like to just like address the IAR students here. You guys are coming into high school, and just don't believe what everyone else says. High school is doable, and you're not gonna like die over here. And like I survived. And also thank you to Dr. Hurwitz and Angela Sablowski, salutatorian, because they really forced me to write my speech last weekend. And I'm glad to say that I finally did it. And I'm running on like 3 hours of sleep right now because of it. But I still did it. Yeah, so awesome. And so yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks, Dan. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. I'm here with my dad and my mom.
Okay, well, I am happy to announce we can keep these feelings going a little longer. We would like to invite families and students down here for some delicious cupcakes. And I am told there's a gluten-free option. You want to see Ms. Bushino, so we'd like to invite you to have a cupcake. And thank you all. That was. We're going to take a break. Yes. Okay, we are back. Next item on the agenda, item 4, approval of minutes. Item A, approval of the minutes for the May 17, 2021 Board of Ed regular meeting. May I have a motion?
Motion.
Any discussion? Anyone? I just want, under the superintendent's report, if we could just get Carolyn Fink's name spelled properly. All set. Okay, all in favor? Opposed, abstentions, carries. Thank you. Next item on the agenda, item 4B, approval of the minutes for the May 27th, 2021 special meeting grievance hearing. May I have a motion?
I could move for it, but I wasn't present for that meeting, so maybe someone else who was present for that.
Motion. How's it? Thank you.
Second.
Thank you for that. Okay, all in favor? Opposed, abstentions, carries.
Extension.
Bill, abstention. Okay, thank you. Next item on the agenda, item 5, inviting and receiving public comment and communications. I'm going to ask Mr. Becker to read our policy on public comment.
The following guidelines are to assist those who wish to speak during the public comment portion of the meeting. Speakers are allowed up to 3 minutes to speak. Public comment is an opportunity for the Board of Education to hear from members of the community. Board members will not be answering questions or discussing matters brought up in public comment. As it deems appropriate, the board may place such matters on the agenda for future meetings for discussion in accordance with the Freedom of Information Act. Civility is expected. Rude or disruptive conduct is not allowed. For example, personal attacks or shouting. After being warned by the chairperson, the person's persistence in disruptive conduct shall be grounds for summary termination of a person's privilege of address. Superintendent is responsible for personnel matters. No speaker shall use public comment to bring formal charges against any board employee. Any such charges should be directed to the proper authority in accordance with Board Policy 1120.
Thank you, Bill. All right, this time, anyone have any public comment? I'm not seeing any members of the community, so we'll be moving on. Next item on the agenda, item 6, consideration of superintendent's report. Item A, COVID-19 update.
So there aren't any updates related to COVID-19. There are 2 agenda items on this evening's agenda that are related to the pandemic and federal funding. So I'll go over those items when we discuss our updated back to school plan and ARP or ESSER 3 funding requirements. I will go over on the next slide just some general updates. So the last 2 days of school are early release days. So June 16th is our FHS graduation. The rain date is June 17th. And I asked Dr. Hurwitz to just provide an update about graduation. Sure.
Right, so we're ready for graduation, looking forward to it. We're checking the 10-day forecast every 10 minutes. We'll see where that goes. So I'll give some updates. I'm happy to answer any questions as well. I'll also talk about the role of the board at graduation and answer any questions that you may have as well as you're able to join us there. So graduation is set for 6 p.m. on June 16th. We have asked all families to reserve the entirety of June 16th. We expect to make communication or a decision around that early in the week based on the weather forecast. And so we'll continue to watch it for this week and into the weekend. So for example, if there were strong predictions that it was going to start raining in the evening on the 16th and through the day on the 17th, we would make a decision to move the graduation timeline up. We are sharing chairs with Irving A. Robbins Middle School, which has their promotion the evening before. And so that would limit us to more like an afternoon graduation if needed. So we'll watch the weather closely, but right now we're planning on an awesome, as planned, June 16th graduation. Our graduation will be held on the turf field. As I alluded to when we were congratulating our students earlier, we spent considerable time planning, particularly with the class officers of the class of 2021. Earlier this winter, I had asked them what they preferred. Again, we didn't know as much as we know now about what the conditions would be. And they were adamant that they wanted to graduate traditionally on the turf field if possible. So that is the reason we chose that venue. That was the wish of the senior class elected officers, and we're very excited to have that opportunity. Some shifts, in order to be as safe as possible, traditionally we would conduct graduation rehearsal indoors in the gymnasium. However, this year we don't have the spacing needed to really minimize the risk. And so we are going to practice graduation on our turf field in rehearsal fashion this school year. Additionally, the graduating students typically gather in the gymnasium prior to graduation. Our staging area this year is going to be the upper fields here at Farmington High School. So you'll have chairs set out there. So really focusing on utilizing the outdoor space as that's the best given health and safety protocols that are in place. We think it's going to be really awesome. We're going to proceed this year our processional. So this is important for the board. We'll meet in my office as you traditionally have in the past if you're attending graduation, in which we'll have you escorted when the time is appropriate to the upper fields. We're really excited that we think it's going to be a really beautiful view to have our students walking down the paved pathway above the field and have our families have a chance to see their students proceed into graduation from there, and then we have a path. We plan to come in through the large gates. Not doing a good job of sharing a visual with it. And then we will proceed throughout a half lap of the track so everybody attending graduation has a chance to see our graduates walk. So I think it'll be a really nice visual for our families to celebrate this really special occasion. Seating at graduation for our families and students is going to be in pods. If you had a chance to see pictures of what our award ceremonies looked like a few weeks back, essentially what it looks like is the graduating student will be in a pod unit, will be in the front seat by themselves, and then behind them there'll be 6 chairs allotted to each family for family members. We ask that all guests, if you've been following the COVID protocols, schools are a place where masks are still mandated. We are outdoors, but we're at a school function, so working closely with the Farmington Valley Health Department, we agreed that a safe and comfortable option for the time would be to ask students and families and guests to wear masks while traversing the school campus. And once they arrive in their seats, which will all be 10 to 12 feet apart from one another, which gives us ample space for folks to use their discretion on what's most comfortable for them on a warm June day for graduation. So, and then when students graduate, they will come in line, they'll wear their masks when in line because they'll be in close proximity, and then they can use their discretion to make a choice when their name is called, whether they want to be masked or unmasked. So that's our balance there. Board members, we have the pleasure of sitting with our building administrators, other elected officials, and special guests. We will sit to the side of the podium. Teachers will be seated to the other side of the podium. So we'll be facing our graduates. Your seats will be labeled with your names as well. I'm trying to think if there's anything else for the graduation. As you heard, our kids are working really hard, and Jerry worked really well with them. So, we're preparing for a really nice event. The town council has been kind enough to plan another proclamation on the class of 2021. So we expect to receive that tomorrow evening from our town council chair, and then include that as well. Another really nice gesture, celebrating another class that is really the first year for the challenging year. We've had a great spring. We had an awesome senior picnic last Friday, where in the midst of thunderstorm predictions, not a drop of rain fell on us, and really just smiles all around and a great evening, a great senior prom. So our kids are poised for a great graduation as well. I don't know if there's any questions, but I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Scott. A lot of this success is really your ability to lead the way for our students, which you do with so much heart. So thank you.
I just appreciate all your support.
I'm just moving on to the next item, just letting the board know we do have our East Farms construction project, and it is on time, on schedule at this point, and we'll continue to update you throughout the summer weeks.
Next item on the agenda, item 6C, Excel Annual Report.
So, Alicia Bowman, our assistant superintendent, will introduce this report. I know that Lori Wireback is here, and will provide an overview of the report, answer any questions if we're.
So this is an annual report that we share with the board, and Brian Zeriel and Lori Wireback are here to give us a little overview.
Right here, either place.
Just make sure you speak into the microphone. That's it.
Good evening, everybody. So I did provide you with the continuing education report for the year. It was a challenging year as, you know, so it's the K-12. For a mandated program, we did take a hybrid model just like the school did. In-person classes with our GED and ESL students. We also offered the virtual platform for the students, which many of them chose. We did see an increase in our GED students with the pandemic and people doing their jobs. I saw students come back all ages, all the way up to the age of 50. We have some students now that have already passed their GED and some that are very close. So we're still working on that. We had to switch to a virtual model for our testing. So that has worked out very well. Also with our GED testing, that has gone virtual as well and is computerized. On the enrichment side, we did see quite a significant downturn with the enrollment for that. We did do virtual classes. That is here to stay. I'll have to say with adult education. We really did see an uptick. We collaborated with our area districts. We're also offering youth classes as well as adult classes. Maybe our fitness classes were very popular online. So we'll continue those. We started to increase our in-person classes here in high school in the spring semester, basically with our art and dance and then our fitness classes. So we saw an increase with that as our students, our elderly students, continue to get their vaccinations. We have one class Monday, Wednesday, Friday, cardio and fitness, and our average age of that class is 70 years old. It's incredible, and those students were there. So they're ready to go. They're ready to come back. On our youth side, our students did some wonderful things. We were all virtual. There were no after-school activities. So our musical was turned into Annie Junior, and they did a phenomenal job on that. We did our Lego League virtual. We did that in collaboration with Avon and Region 10. So there was a lot going on virtually. After-school art clubs, just the creativity, the collaboration with our art department. Was just phenomenal in allowing us to do that. Now we're going into summertime. We're going to Super Strings, and our biggest award is our grant that we got, the Accelerate Connecticut Innovation Grant. We're awarded $125,000. So we're doing that in collaboration with Britain and Hartford and Plainville and any other area district. So we're planning for 250 children in the camp. So things are really good. All in all, a good year. Looking forward to next year and to be able to grow the program back to where it needs to be.
So much, Lori. Any questions for Lori? Great job, Lori. We know it's not easy, and really big congratulations on that grant. Well done.
Annual report, and
okay.
Ryan is here to provide an overview and then answer.
Thank you for having us tonight. So this year was difficult. Tested me as a leader, challenging year. But what I realized is that relationships do matter, especially during a pandemic like this. that's, I think what I'm taking out of this. We just stay very optimistic, moving forward. I'm happy to have a lot of stuff in our report that was positive this year. I'm happy to say the last 3 months have been, so we are starting to see a positive tuition increase, which is great. So we're seeing some income coming in first time since last March. It was a positive month. So looking forward to the summer, and I just like to thank the team this year. Really tough to get that. Really caring and hardworking staff go for a couple months, but we were able to invite them back, and all of them that we offered the position to came back. So I'm proud of them. Answer any questions the board may have.
Questions for Brian? Thank you so much, Brian. Thank you for sharing with us that it's, that was a lot of emotion. And, I have to say, we're all with you. And so thank you so much for sharing that. We're with you, and certainly with you looking for better days to come. I think it's going to be a great summer. So I really think things are going to be switching up, and everything's going to be okay, Brian.
I know.
Okay? Just need someone to say that. Okay, thank you so much. All right, next item on the agenda, item 6E, update related to 2021-22 return to school plan. Yeah. Oh, back up. Okay. Item 6D, 2021 summer learning programs. Apologize.
So Kim will provide an overview. I just would like to say and recognize Lori and Brian for their leadership this year, working with Alicia. They have been resilient and creative and really, try to think of every possible program offering that we could provide to support our students and families. And I know it was really difficult at times, so I just want to commend both of you for your hard work and, just keeping things going. And, just really thankful that you're both here and that you just gave everything this year to try to provide that support and enrichment that during a pandemic is probably needed even more, right? And to go quickly to virtual, remote or hybrid, all of that flexibility and optimism really were things that we learned a lot about over this last year. And you two really are two prime examples of that. So thank you so much. And thanks to your staff as well. So Kim Lynn, our assistant superintendent, will provide an overview of the summer learning programs that are available this summer. We're really excited about, like you had said, Ellen, like this is going to be a great summer, and we're really excited about all the possibilities.
Thank you, Kathy. Absolutely. We're really looking forward to summer, and it's been exciting to start to plan for it and think about all the wonderful opportunities that our students will have over the summer, and it's sort of a return to normalcy to some extent. So these next few slides just give you a quick overview of those particular programs that are planned for the summer. The Excel program, as always in the summer, provides an amazing summer camp experience for students pre-K through grade 7. It's a 9-week program, and it'll be held at Irving Robbins this year. Our Farmington Continuing Ed, as Lori mentioned recently, just will continue with presenting our students with opportunities for the arts through the Suzuki String Academy and the Theater Academy and a Performing Arts STEAM Academy. So many of our students participate in these amazing programs. They're kind of a bragging point for the Farmington Public Schools and our students. The youth enrichment programs will reappear this year. It's exciting to see so many of them planned for this coming summer. Things that maybe some of your students have participated in, like Lego League and coding school and baking and babysitting and music lessons and all kinds of wonderful opportunities to enrich our students' summer learning over the weeks away from regular programming at school. Our next slide, Summer Exploration Academy for students entering grades 1 through 6 is an opportunity to help students accelerate their academic progress. And an enhancement to this year's program is the integration of extended school year special education students with our regular Summer Exploration Academy to better serve all students. And that will be a 4-week program in July. Irving Robbins also offers an academic acceleration program in reading, writing, math, and this year an algebra acceleration course, which is new for students entering grades 7 and 8. And lastly, Summer Learning Academy at the high school will include some credit recovery programs, an opportunity for students who'd like to take civics over the summer to clear some space in their schedules. Here you see the Skills for Success in AP and college level courses, which is the new program that we talked about in the budget process. And that is a part of our equity strategies to include more students, encourage them to take AP classes and reach their potential. So that's a brief overview of what will be happening in the summer. It's a lot. I think it's exciting and it, again, helps us all to feel like we're back on track and we're moving forward.
Thank you, Ken. Any questions for Ken? Wow, thank you, Ken. It does, it actually is, you know, seeing everything that's going on around the campuses for the summer, it gives us a lot of hope, doesn't it?
Yes.
A lot of hope. Okay. Thank you so much. Okay, moving on, item 6E, update related to 2021, 2022 return to school plan. I'll turn it over to Superintendent Krieger.
Ellen, so we have some requirements, given the ESSER 3 ARP funds that we're receiving, and in order to receive them, there are certain assurances that we need to provide, one of which is an update of our return to school plan. You know, this is coming from the federal level where many states have not returned to school or just returned to school. So we had a return to school plan in Connecticut, all districts have, so it's really a mirror of what Connecticut had done is now being used at the federal level. So we need to update our return to school plan to reflect what we are planning for next year. So we're in the process of doing that. But we are required to provide an opportunity for our community to provide input. So in my weekly letter on Friday, I did include the current return to school plan and then the opportunity for people to give us feedback on that as we revise it. You know, what went well, what didn't go well, what are you hoping for in the coming year for return to school? We must plan for all learning models, even though we anticipate a normal return to school. You know, we don't know if health trends change. We may, you know, we need to plan for hybrid. We need to plan for fully remote. So again, that's something that we will be looking at, but there is no requirement for remote learning next year in the in-person learning model. So for in-person, that remote learning option won't be there next year. It is not a requirement. So if we go to the next slide. So this is the American Rescue Plan, the ARP ESSER 3 grant funding. You can see our total allocation is $2,416,610,000. There are more requirements with this money. We had really thought there would be when we were developing the budget for 21-22, and we were hesitant to even think about those funds at that point because we really didn't know how this would play out. But about 20% of it must be put aside just for learning acceleration. So that's $483,322 of the $2,416,610. That must be put aside and spent for learning acceleration. The years of funding for this amount would be next year, then 2022, 2023, and then 2023, 2024. So think about $2.4 billion over a 3-year period. So the next slide shows the priority areas which we must plan for within the application. The first one I already went over, learning acceleration, academic renewal, and student enrichment. Another is family and community connections, social, emotional, and mental health of students and of school staff is another area. Strategic use of technology, staff development, and the digital divide. And then the last one is building safe and healthy schools. So on this slide, we've already started working on this plan, and all of our planning is grounded in Farmington's core improvement documents, our vision of the global citizen, our core beliefs, our FTL, school development plans, program development plans, and our equity framework. So, this is how we planned for this year, and we really were very successful, and we want to stick with what we know we're all about and stick with those core documents. So under learning acceleration, here are some of the things that we've already started planning for. Stipends for faculty for additional homework help and support for students and families. Consultation and supplies for programmatic improvements. We find this is an opportunity to look at some of our programs, do reviews of those programs. So we're really setting ourselves up for success in the future. Class size, permanent substitutes, and family supports for extended day in the year. So those are some of the ideas that we have for learning acceleration. We really have to be very careful about how we plan because we know that in 2024 and 25, there will be no funding in that year. So we don't want to have a situation where, and again, we're not receiving what a lot of districts are receiving, which could be tens of millions of dollars. So it's a situation where we're trying not to add FTE so that we don't have a situation where we have to lay people off and have unemployment. So you can see that's part of our planning process. And family community connections, we really haven't done an update on our website. So we're thinking it's time, and we haven't done it in a few years. A really great opportunity to update our website and really make it even more family friendly. And then we're going to also, this is something that we know, we want to personalize the way we communicate with families. So we're looking at a new family communication system. On the next slide, again, planning with our core documents in mind, but when we look at like SEL and mental health, transition teams through our care team to support students who are transitioning to in-person learning for the first time since last March, and a year ago. So we want to, over a year ago, so we really want to be able to support those students as they transition back. PD support, professional development supports for social emotional learning as well. In the area of technology, we're continuing our one-to-one technology approach and looking at enhancements in technology. And then under building safe and healthy schools, as you know, we did a comprehensive air ventilation review last summer. We're going to continue to work with that group and look at any next steps that we have over the next 3 years, given the funding timeline. And then some of our next steps, given those priority areas and some of the thoughts we have now, all planning, again, is grounded in our core improvement documents. And, just thinking about how important that was to plan for this year. And we really are putting the health and safety of all members of our school district community at the forefront of planning. We're going to revise our return to school plan. We're seeking input right now through the Google form. We're going to develop the draft ARP application. We'll also seek input there through Google form. We'll submit our final ARP application that's due in, I believe, in August. And then we'll have an internal implementation planning document because, this is between ESER 2 and ESER 3, we want to make sure that we're planning appropriately and that we know who's doing what. And so we want to have an internal document just for accountability purposes. So that's where we are with thinking about the coming year and the funding that's coming to us.
Wow, is anyone going to get a summer vacation? I mean, that is a lot. Okay, so I just want to say thank you, first of all. And just, I want to open this up to the board to remind you that, this is, Kathy went through the return to school plan and then the related grant funding. So either one of those, if anyone has anything, Mr. Becker.
Yeah, a specific question, the 2.4 million over 3 years, is that $800,000 a year or is it very?
For what?
So you showed a $2.4 million, so it's 800 a year.
Yeah,
It doesn't have to be.
yeah, we don't have to do it evenly throughout the year,
Okay.
so we really do have the, the discretion to use more of it one year than another. I would say that, the transition teams are really just for next year, because we'll be back in person and that will hopefully be needed in the year, the next 2 years. So I think there'll be some variations, but you're right, if you were to evenly distribute it. It would be-
So we're in possession of the money now, but we can't use, we have access to the money now, but we have to use it based on how we do our grant application for whatever.
Yeah, so the application has a lot of requirements and our ESER 2 application was approved pretty quickly. That has not been the case for many districts. And I think this has a bit more when it comes to requirements. So, we don't know when we'll get the funding. We can plan, because this is our funding, but we have to go through, several steps before getting it. So, ESER 2 we're approved for, we have that funding. We're ready to, we've already started spending it actually, because, we took things off the budget. So we are already, getting ready for all of that. And, if we don't spend all of our ESER 2, we actually have more time to spend it in the following year. So I think there's a lot of, flexibility as we go forward, and we like that flexibility to move to another year. Like, so say we spent of the 2.4 a little more next year, we know that we're going to have to balance that in the 2 other years.
Right.
But more to come on the application. We really are in the planning stages with some guiding principles, like using our core documents, trying not to add FTE, trying to, provide a lot of enrichment and support to our students and focus on SEL. Just talking to some of the students after the awards, some of those students were remote learners, for most of the year. And they said, the focus on social emotional learning was really important for them and is something that, they feel is vital going into the future, that, we just happened to be implementing ruler at the time that we needed it the most. I mean, it was actually, we're so fortunate to have had all the training and had been well into our implementation of COVID.
I would say I appreciate this update and keep these coming. I think as we go, we're going to update during the summer and the fall. That's certainly something we're going to want to. We can understand is people are going to ask us, like, where's that money going? How's that fit?
Exactly.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
I have a question. So if as you're going to the planning and also seeing how kids are doing when they come back, if you found that there was a need that would require some sort of staffing, is it possible to hire people on a temporary basis? I heard you say you're concerned about unemployment and hiring and then having people go. What would this be grant funded for the same amount of time?
As far as FTE.
Yeah, any kind of staffing.
Oh, if someone was like, well, any consultation is like, we have the consultation, but there's no impact afterwards if we were to stop that consultation.
Right.
But there certainly is FTE in ESER 2 from the budget. So we know eventually those have to come back. So what we were thinking about even today was, if we looked at the next 3 years, when would we want to kind of soften the impact on the budget. So maybe we bring back the SLC teacher into the budget next year, and then wait a year to bring back the non-deployed, and do it over a 3-year period so we soften the impact and not wait till 24, 25 to bring everything back. So the other thing we know about ESER 2 and ESER 3 is that we can resubmit changes to the plan. So say we decided, we put those undeployed on there and we don't need them. Well, that frees up some money for other things. So we have the ability also to go back and revise the plan, because think about 3 years from now, right? It's hard to plan 3 years out and where we'll be at that point. So I really, that's another great feature of this, is that we can go in and make changes along the way, which I think is really wise, and we should be doing that. And so much of our work is iterative, and we'll start ruler and then we'll discover something else and something else and something else. And so we want to have that flexibility as we learn more and we, implement our improvement efforts. But definitely thinking about smoothing that out, because we know what budgets are like, and we don't want to, have a situation where they fall off the cliff in 1 year and we have to add, several FTE back. That just doesn't work well, and we know that. So try to smooth that out over the years.
Sarah?
I don't know if this falls directly into this topic, but kind of has to do with return to school. I was wondering if we could just have an update on how things are going with the kindergarten academy at Noah Wallace on the transition from East Farms to Noah Wallace.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, Alicia and Kim and I meet, every other week with the team. And so I don't know, Alicia, did you want to give any updates there?
Sure. We met last week, not last week, the week before, we left Memorial Day weekend. So we meet in a cross-roll team, including Carrie Huber and Renee St. Clair. It includes Matt, Sam for facilities, Kim, me, Kathy, and anyone else who might be pertinent to the conversation. And we have a planning document. What we were talking about at the last conversation was staffing. So thinking about staffing not only classroom teachers, but then the staffing that goes along to ensure that we have the correct FTE to support the students there. So thinking about things like special areas teachers, any support staff like paraprofessionals, tutors, also the facility itself, making sure we have not only identified the classroom spaces, but that we have the proper approvals. We have a plan for furniture packing, moving, and relocating the furniture. Once we roll over our students from into the new year through Power School, then we can start working on our bus routes. So we do have a plan for that, but we just can't enact that quite yet. Yeah, those are pretty much, and like I said, we do have a strategic plan that we've been using to guide us. Conversations that will occur next, we'll be talking about before and after school care and what that looks like. Can students who have family members at East Farms, could those kindergartners attend care at East Farms to make it easier for families? So those are the kind of our next level of conversation moving forward. Does that help, Sarah? Yes, thank you.
Down there.
Anybody else? Thank you for those questions. Okay, moving on, item 6G, professional appointments, resignations, and retirements.
We have 3 resignations within this report for this meeting. And you're going, this is the time of year where you're going to see resignations, and you'll also see lots of hiring going on.
Moving on, item 6H, engage learning.
So So this is a really exciting engaged learning update, so I just encourage everyone to take a look. Each item really is a celebration of this year and our students, faculty, staff, administrators, and schools.
Next item on the agenda, item 7, unfinished business, 7A, budget impact, budget update. Alicia?
Yep, so Kathy gave a good update on ESSER. So as I won't reiterate, but essentially we met today again as a central office team. We reviewed what we submitted for ESSER 2 to ensure that everybody was clear on expectations and next steps. That also, we've created the accounts in our budget, so you'll see those in kind of in our grant reports like we did for the CRF funds. In addition, we have started the process for planning for ARP ESSER or ESSER 3, and as Kathy said, it is definitely more involved. There's several accountability measures, but we are in typical Farmington way. We're doing it a little at a time, and we have planning documents and feel confident that we will be able to execute that. And you heard a little bit from both Lori and Brian that continuing ed and Excel have made a little turn in the last few months, so they're ending the year on a much better note. And we also had our cafeteria ad hoc or board committee meeting today, and hearing from Jose that also our cafeteria fund is ending the last few months also in a positive. So those are all good, proud points. And then lastly, I mentioned this last month, but because at this time last year, we had told everybody that we were taking a very conservative approach to spending, not knowing exactly what the fall was going to bring, and knowing that we had to up our spending with COVID preparations, and then moving into the fall where we said, just hold, please don't spend, unless it's urgent. That in the spring, in April and May, we've been able to open up some spending for our schools and our principals, which these are areas that were previously budgeted for and needs supplies, equipment, any kind of health and safety items, resources. So we've been very busy supporting the schools with that. I think they almost forgot how to spend. So, and then now we're going to be turning the corner into looking at closing the year already. Any questions?
Thank you, Alicia. Okay, next item on the agenda, item 7B, new course approval. This is the second reading, so we've seen this in our last meeting. And I just ask Mr. Becker to do the motion, please.
Sure. Make a motion to approve the first reading of the new courses to be implemented in the training. Second reading. Thank you, Christine. To approve the second reading. I'd like to move to approve the second reading of the new courses to be implemented in the 2021-2022 school year at Farmington High School and Early Robbins as presented.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed, abstention, carries. Thank you. Next item on the agenda, item C, new textbook adoption, second reading, action anticipated, same. So,
I'll make a motion if I could to approve the second reading of textbook to approve the second reading of the textbook adoption proposal.
Second.
Any comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, carries. Okay, next item on the agenda, item 8, new business. Item 8A, extension of policy number policy number 1421-C19, health and safety protocols. This is the first reading. I'm going to turn it over to Kathy.
So it was recommended by Shipman and Goodman that we extend this policy related to mitigation practices as we proceed through the summer and plan for our return to school. In August 2021, we really don't know what DPH will be recommending in the fall. And so, we have to continue to act in the same way that we're, working right now. So, but we need to extend this particular health and safety protocol policy.
Okay, so this just basically gives us the flexibility to keep extending
Yeah,
it, COVID related.
Right, and to continue the mitigation practices until we hear otherwise. I think it was expired at the end of the school year, so this extends it beyond the school year.
Is there a specific expiration?
I believe it's, I thought it was just this school year, I have to check, but that's why they're recommending, is that
No,
correct?
I mean, it's not policy, is there an expiration on the policy from the 2022 school year?
It's just extending it, correct?
Right. That's what it says in the motion, right? It's right through school. Okay.
For one
Question.
school year. Oh, it is.
Yeah, just the end of next school. Right.
Okay, so, all right, so we'll see that again.
We can make a motion to approve the first reading of the extension of policy number 1421-C19, health and safety protocols for the 2021-2022 school year, as recommended by the State Department of Education.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstention carries. Thank you. Okay. Next item on the agenda, item 9, consideration of Assistant Superintendent Finance and Operations Report. Item A, approval of April 2021 financial statement report.
So, I mentioned so remember, we're talking about April and we're in June. So we're backtracking a bit, but the changes that you may notice are in teacher salaries, which reflects the unpaid leaves of absences. So we've had resignations, which you're aware of. We've had a few teachers who requested to switch to unpaid leaves over this course over the course of time, but in April, there was, I think, 6 total. We also see the impact of that in our substitute line. Legal fees is reflected of negotiations, grievances, and other HR and special ed needs that we've had to deal with over the course of this year. The COVID impact is not news to you. We've talked about those previously: unemployment, supplies, health and safety. And then I mentioned this at our last meeting, but we did have to replace a few pieces of equipment. So you'll see in the replaced equipment line that reflects the kitchen steamer, FHS, and the pole vaulting mat. Are there any other questions?
Alicia said at the beginning too, when you were talking about budget impact, that we kind of had a freeze in the fall. So looking at the fund balance at the end of April, $104,428 in unencumbered funds. I mean, is that a reflection of the freeze? And because that's a pretty healthy balance normally for this time of year.
Right, so again, this was April, so we still had May and June. And it was around that time where we were able to then say to principals, okay, we have some room, let's go back and see what are your areas of need.
Okay, because we certainly want to make sure we're as close to zeroed out by the end of June. Thank you.
Agreed.
Anyone else? Thank you, Alicia. Can I have the motion to approve?
Make a motion to approve the April 2021 financials as presented.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention. And 10, executive session, none. And 11, report of board chair. I just wanted to publicly express my deepest gratitude and thanks to you all and really to our community for supporting the Farmington High School building project. I really believe that the vote last Thursday is an affirmation to all of us and our entire community that Farmington really does value education and recognize the need here, and that most of all, the community put their trust in us and the council and the building committee, so that's efficient. So I just want to thank you all for your hard work and your time. It was a great day. So I just want to mention a few dates. You got an email from Heather Roy at Irving Robbins for IR promotion. That's June 15th at 6 p.m. And if you're attending, you just need to send her an email. And Dr. Hurwitz gave us an update on FHS graduation. So I think tonight you have an envelope at your place with the invitation to graduation. I believe we will just let Denise Martin know if you can attend and if you're bringing a guest. And I wanted to add, for anyone interested in project graduation, the Chem-Free celebration for our seniors, they're still in need of volunteers for that night. I know it's a late night. I know a few of us will be there. I've done it before. It's a lot of fun. It is a late night, but it's a really great, they get such a high percentage of students to this gathering, and it's safe and it's fun. So it's really great, but they do need some more volunteers. So I would say, if you're interested, let me know, and I can forward you the email. And I think you'll all notice we have our yearbook here. You all should have a copy of the yearbook and the English department's for finance. So we think the high school. Yes. That is all. So item 12, motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Motion carries. Thank you all so much.